Hello and welcome back to the Watford Way. Today, as we preview Watford's first Championship away game of the season against Stoke City at the Bet365 Stadium. And I am so excited for this game. The first proper test, I feel, of the Championship season. The first away game for Watford, obviously apart from the Stevenage game in the Carabao Cup. And I think for me, it's just going to be interesting to see how these players react to a different atmosphere, how they react to having a crowd that is fully against them. And obviously Watford will have a smaller way back in with them. But I just think it's going to be a really interesting test. I think Stoke City themselves are an interesting side to play. I think their transfer window has been really good. I think Mark Chavez in goal is a fantastic signing for them. Obviously, they have Ben Wilmot, who was previously at Watford, who really was underused at the club, actually. And I feel like he had so much potential and we let him go way too early. And, don't get me wrong, he's done fantastically well at Stoke. He scored quite a few goals for them, actually, from centre-back. So yeah, it'll be good to see Ben Wilmot back facing Watford, albeit I hope he doesn't have a fantastic game. And in the striking position, we've also got Wesley, who's been linked heavily with Watford during this transfer window, but ended up making, I believe, a permanent transfer to Stoke on a one-year contract. I think he terminated his contract at Aston Villa to basically allow that move to Stoke City to happen. So will Wesley come to haunt Watford after our pursuit of him in the transfer window? We'll have to wait and see. In terms of Watford and what to expect from us, hopefully we'll see two new signings who have yet to feature yet for this Watford side so far this season. And I've mentioned them before on here. Those two signings are, of course, Tom Ince and Jamal Lewis. Tom Ince, who can play kind of in that attacking midfield position, but is probably going to be more utilised in the wide areas for Watford, so either on the left wing or the right wing, and I suppose he can also play centrally if we really had to. And the other signing is a fantastic player from Newcastle United who was underutilised there last season, didn't get a lot of game time, and that player is, of course, Jamal Lewis, a left wing back, left back, however you want to see it. I really want to see them to get some minutes. It seems like they're not actually injured. Blair and Ismail spoke about them numerous times so far to various journalists in his press conferences. And I just feel like he wants them to get up to a certain fitness level, really. Now, I've discussed on here before the intensity required to press throughout a 90-minute game. The fact we're playing with such a high line also takes them getting used to. Daniel Batman playing really high up in that sweeper keeper type of role as well. And for players to put in that amount of effort for 90 minutes, one or two times a week throughout a 46-game season, it can take its toll. So I do think it's sensible to be cautious with some of our new signings. However, I do think it's time now to kind of bring them in. Ultimately, we want to get points on the board, and to do that, we have to play our best players. And even if it's starting them, then bringing them off after maybe 50, 60 minutes, or bringing them off the bench, I would like to see Tom Ince and Jamal Lewis get some sort of appearance against Stoke City. I mentioned at the start of the video as well about the difference in atmosphere. Obviously, we've been quite lucky in having our first two games of this season at home, which has allowed us to obviously beat QPR very comfortably and put in a really good performance against Plymouth Argyle as well. I don't think Plymouth were terrible by any means. I think they're going to have a really good season. I think they might finish in that mid-table area, maybe lower mid-table. And that was a real good test for Watford going into this Stoke game, which is going to be up there in terms of maybe our toughest test this season, up there with maybe Leicester, Southampton, Leeds. Norwich is always tough. Teams like this who have been in the Premier League previously, they still have a little bit of money to spend. But there's no doubt, Stoke City have quality. I think the key player to watch for them is, of course, former Watford man Ben Wilmot. It's been absolutely superb for them. I know the fans really like him. Scored a few goals last season, as I mentioned as well. And it's just a really nice guy. So I think for me, the player to watch for Stoke City is Ben Wilmot, and hopefully he receives a very nice reception from the Watford travelling faithful. In terms of my score prediction and how I think the game's going to go, obviously Watford have yet to concede a goal in the Championship this season. I think there's only a couple of other teams in the whole of the English Football League who have not conceded a goal. So I think that's good to build on, that kind of defensive solidity that we've found so far in these opening couple of games. But I do think Stoke City have the capability to score. I think that the players they've signed and the attacking signings, the attacking players they already had at the club, pose enough of a threat to Watford that I do think they'll score in this game. Obviously, they're playing at home as well. But I'm, of course, going to back the boys. I'm going to go with a Watford win, and I'm going to go with a 2-1 Watford win. I think Watford will score. I think Vacuum Bio will get back on the score sheet, and I'm going to go with a goal from our new signing, Georgie Chakvadatse, coming off the bench to make it 2-1 to Watford in the 85th minute. Why not? So that's what I'll go with for my score prediction. Let me know yours in the comments section down below. If you're a Stoke City fan watching this video, let me know your thoughts on Watford and let me know how your team has got on in the opening couple of games. I know you beat Rotherham quite comfortably in your first game, and then you just recently lost to Ipswich Town 2-0. So a mixed start for Stoke City, and hopefully Watford can continue their good start to the Championship season by getting a win away at the Bet365 Stadium. So thanks so much for watching this video, really do appreciate it. As I mentioned earlier, please hit subscribe, it would be much appreciated. And I'll see you again very, very soon. Bye-bye.